Good evening and welcome back to the Mancunian Way. My name is Mike. I'm your host, joined by Pat and Kelster. How are you two? All good?
Good, Martin. Hello, everyone. Hope we're good. I'm back. Yes, I'm back in Australia, back in one piece. So, yeah.
He's come off the side of milk cartons.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got a new face on the milk carton. Put an APB out for Nico Gonzalez. Where's that guy?
Do you know, he misses one game and everyone goes into meltdown. Crazy, isn't it?
It's because he's fixed a lot of our problems this season. Problems that were caused by... oh, wait. You know what? I'll wait.
Well, we'll get into it. I imagine this is going to be a... If you've listened to episode 4 of the podcast, you've already heard a spicy podcast.
I just downloaded it. I haven't listened yet, but I'm gonna listen to it.
Are you and Tone still bickering about football politics?
It's just Tone talking about wanting answers to questions he's never going to get because he thinks he's in the boardroom. My God.
Just put Tone on meme duty. He's quite good at that. Or get him his old job back.
Martin, I think it's funny you're waiting for him until he's not on camera to say these things. So,
no, listen, he knows. We've just been at it for an hour and a half on there. Will City's transfer plans change? Nope, not at all. There will be no changes from UCL to Europa. There may be some changes, as in player-wise, but targets-wise, nothing changes. So I don't know where. Because the thing is, people got to get this out there about this UCL. Loads of top teams have signed top players. We're talking potentially one more year. And don't forget, by the way, Newcastle have to play Chelsea yet before everyone has a meltdown.
Guaranteed.
So someone's losing points.
Before you say anything, look at those clubs and look at the run we have. Our run is so much better.
This is what I mean.
So much better.
I just don't trust us right now. I really don't. We were playing a 14th place team. I know it's a derby, but they were like, what, 13th, 14th? And that was our approach?
True, Kel, but I've always said form goes out. Form goes out. The form and league position goes out the door when you're playing the derby.
And also, United were actually the form team in the league alongside Palace. Because I don't remember Arsenal. I don't remember Arsenal.
Technically, yes, based over the last, say, 5 games or so.
If we play that lineup against Palace, I don't trust us to win, even at home.
Yeah, like I said, Arsenal drew at the Old Trafford. It's time for Vinny to become the next City manager. Okay, totally disagree.
Not yet.
I'm just going to let everyone know, right? You can say Pep out. You can want him out. That's fine. the club aren't going to sack him. So you need to either come to peace with that, and he's not walking out either.
Yeah. Stop trying to fight a battle you're not going to win in any way,
You're going to
way whatsoever.
You're going to fight a battle you're not going to win because you don't choose.
I just said that, didn't I?
I'm sorry, I know that's a big thing, but the club ain't sacking him, and he ain't walking. So,
but questioning some of his decisions does not mean you're Pep out. Just to clarify,
no, you can.
There's a civil war going on
the podcast. Spoiler: you can question, you can answer, but if you're questioning for answers, then you're going to be asking all day long. If people want to know why Nico Gonzalez didn't play, he just didn't want to play him. You have to come to peace with that and move on. Because you are never going to find out. Why we've dropped off this season, you are never going to find out. It is what it is. We can debate and we can chat. Hello, Lee. By the way, I want to apologise to Lee. I wasn't trying to be rude the other day. I think I've said this already to you. When I had my missus with me, she'd been waiting for 25 minutes at the protest, so I had to get back to her. But I will hopefully catch up with you next time, Lee. I'm not there for Palace, I'm away, but probably for the Wolves game. I'm not going to mention KDB, Gundo, Cover, Foden, Grealish, Doku performances. Yeah, everyone goes on about Doku. He was garbage when he came on. So stop giving me the winger debate when the wingers were garbage when they walked on the pitch as well. But hey-ho, we're only just going to kill the people we want, I guess. I ain't going to waste my breath when others deserve it after showing grit. Ederson was actually very good. He was. I'll give that dash. Colin.
Big save. And Diaz in the box. Ooh, my captain right there.
I think Nico Adams given the opportunity did well. Yeah, I thought he did very well. Apart from he nearly got sent off. I understand why he got taken off. I think he got taken off before he was sent off. Because I think the referee had said no more at that point when he did that foul on the down in the corner. Josko Bardio, so much play with the interceptions. I thought him and Diaz are making a really good partnership.
Yeah.
I thought Ruben recovered after. Yeah, I thought Ruben recovered really well after that. And by the way, Garnacho's no slow coach. He's no slouch on the ball. He just doesn't.
Martin was very Vincent Company. He was never afraid to get a yellow in the first 5 minutes, and then after that, 100% discipline.
You know what that reminded me of? Remember the Hull game? About 9 years ago when he did that in like the opening minute.
Yeah, he got the red. And then, David Silva had his best performance in a City shirt, in my opinion.
I think Diaz Camardo is, I'm with you.
That's our future, man. We got it. That's the only positive for me yesterday is that we continued that relationship, and I want to see this duo continue the rest of the season and into next season too.
I'm a short opinion. I disagree with you. I think Diaz was good yesterday. Diaz was throwing his body in front, as was Rico Lewis when they come. Not to mention about his transfer into Kyle Walker in interviews. We are so proud of point against Foden's place United. I'm going to make a point about this because I think some people, which again I'm giving a spoiler, but I just want to go through some of those and then we'll get into it because I know everyone's angry, so we'll just get your anger out. Come on, do a bit of therapy, and then we'll all calm down and go back to reality again. Omar Mooch was our most threatening attacker. He made a lot of passing lanes and runs in behind, which wasn't anticipated. Because the trouble was, you're missing KDB behind him on form. Not the worst derby, but ever watched, but close. Yeah, well, I've seen a lot worse, but again, that's just my age. I can't help that. Getting smacked 5-0 was a lot worse than that, but hey-ho. Now I'm going to on the manager and some of his comments. Agreed, there's many runs made and unfound typical of the season. This is what it is this season. We need help. Yep, spot on. Only good thing about that is the derbies. I've found a cure for insomnia. Pepper's been operating with impunity for far too long. Dash is like he's been. I mean, everyone's just going mad here. You can just tell. Pep's playing the game, the shot of cowardness. He knew that midfield three was there. Everyone's just proper venting now, aren't they? Pep's tactics have become stale.
Tell us how you really feel.
I went on a rampage yesterday and this morning, so you'll finally get a conversion to me today.
He has no energy, left like Klopp, time for a change. Sorry, you're not getting it. Colin opposites, no, it's nightmares now. Love the episode 4. It's amazing that people, yes, big up, man. 31 countries is amazing. It is amazing. But thank you, Luke. I won't get over tonight in my lifetime, Luke. Show him a lot of love as well. Yes, I'm doing well. Spot on Darcy, like you said before, the kit myself was coming away with a draw. Down to 6, yeah. But don't forget Chelsea played Newcastle yet. People aren't looking at that Chelsea Newcastle
And
game.
Liverpool.
Yeah, there's bigger games to come. Don't worry. City do still have the favourable running. Evening, John. How are you? Past success doesn't justify current failure. No one said it does, but it justifies giving him time.
I agree.
Luke in pain tonight, but still turning in. Hello, everyone. Hello, Staffer. Big up, Ed, who's always with us. BM, how are you, mate? Yo, yo. Hope you're good. Sorry to hear, mate. Hope you get better soon. I'm all right. Yeah, I'm looking that. Hello, Celts. You're on every YouTube show at the moment.
Yeah.
You listen to what? 0 to 4.
Who do you listen to? Oh, yeah. I went on a couple of rants yesterday and this morning.
Martin, do I reckon City will be back next season? Yes. Come on, Martin. We was awful. We didn't even try and win. Never. Well, I think we did try and win because we had more shots on target than United, factually. Go and check the stats on that. We actually had more shots on target than United. But I still think we played for a draw. And I've never said it was a good thing. I've just said they actually did exactly what Pep wanted them to do. The Pep continues to play Dad's armour, but he hasn't got any other choice, David Mac. Because what you want? Who do you want on? Right, this is my question. Question for everyone. You don't want Dad's armour. Who do you want in the middle?
I want Nico Gonzalez, and then rotate the who plays next to him. Like play Bernardo one game next to him, then rotate Gundo next to him. Because I will admit, Gundo looks very good next to Nico, so I'm happy with that. And then the next game you can rotate Kova. Like I know I accept that at minimum one of them will play in the midfield, but I think Nico has to be in there with them because you get the combination, you get the experience, and then you get the legs because he can do the things that they cannot do, which we have seen over and over again. They're not winning the duels. We let washed up Casemiro get like 14 out of 15 duels yesterday. And who's been pretty good at duels since he got here? Nico Gonzalez. So I just would like the experience plus the legs.
Just to find out why the journalist did ask, and he just said he was fine. That's the answer you got. I've just had this debate for an hour and a half with Tone about this. He wasn't injured. He was rotated out for tactics. Deal with it. Whether you think it's right or wrong, deal with it. That's the answer you've got. I don't know what more people want out of that. That's the answer you've got for everyone. Hello, Steve. Hope you're feeling good. You're a bit less hungover, mate.
He must have made it up from McDonald's last night.
So, go on, what did you two make? We'll start with you, part of the lineup. Because obviously, everyone had World of War 3 over the lineup again, same as last week, but we won last week. So, everyone didn't have World War 3 again. So, yeah.
Well, you're right about Dad's army, that's for sure. 30 plus average age, 30 plus midfield, across the board. But he likes doing that, doesn't he, when he plays United at Old Trafford? So we shouldn't act too surprised, I guess, in a way. But when I saw it on paper, I was happy with the back. I think that was about as good as we could have gone. I still would have liked to have seen Kuzhinov be thrown in the deep end a little bit and played in that game, whether it be a right back, right centre back role. I'm not too sure. But apart from that, I don't think there was much else I think we could have changed. Not just given who we've got at our disposal, but who we know from history what Pep likes to play at Old Trafford. So I think I can understand why people look at it, the whole Dad's army thing. It was like, why are we putting younger players in midfield and things like that? But it's like that's not what he's done. He's always gone for the veterans. He's always gone for the experience. Because if things go wrong, then he's damned if you do, damned if you don't, basically. So, while I would have loved to have seen some young blood in there, I think leading up to it, I spent weeks just thinking to myself that he was going to go to with a full veterans affair for a bloody lineup anyway. So, it is what it is, mate. I can't really. I can't really be too critical of it because I think, really when you think about it, that's what he was always going to go with at Old Trafford.
I'm okay with the back line. I was happy to see him give Nico O'Reilly the game. I think he earned it with his performance. So I was happy to see that rewarded. And I do really like Joško and Diaz together. I think that's something we need to keep doing. I think that's our future next season based on reliability and age of our other center backs. So I want to keep that going. So that was good. And I originally didn't like Nunes in the starting lineup at right back, but he proved me wrong. He had a very good game. So I gave him credit when I doubted him early on. And I like that. I like that option better than Rico, to be honest. So I would have preferred Kuznetsov, and you could have played Nunes as a winger because unfortunately our right wing has been kind of dead this season. But then after that, I disagreed with the lineup completely. As I stated earlier, I think Nico needs to be in there because he can do the things physically that the uncles cannot do. So I think we needed that in a derby. And I was really shocked we didn't change it at halftime when it was clear that Casemiro was completely bullying them. Like, fine, start with them, but make an adjustment. Like, bring him on at halftime. Like, unless you just really don't care. Like, it just felt like a just complete disconnect for me. I just didn't understand why he didn't put him. Why did Nico play a single minute? And then I thought it was really weird to play De Bruyne as a false nine because we've seen over and over again that this midfield, when you play Bernardo, Gundo, and Kova together, they generally don't. They've struggled to progress the ball forward. Kova occasionally has a good pass in him, but he's a ball carrier. He's not really known for his passing. I accept that. Gundo, I guess, is your main 10 there. I don't know. And then Bernardo has shown all season he cannot progress the ball forward consistently. There's a stat that shows he has the most backwards passes in the league this season. That's primarily what it does if you just watch him. So I didn't know who was going to get the ball to De Bruyne to put the ball in the net. So I would have played Marmoush as the false 9 or the 9 because I thought he'd been doing well doing that the past 2 games when he came on for Holland and then against Leicester, he scored goals. So I don't understand why he had to be sacrificed out right or out left, even though he did have a couple of chances. So yeah, I just disagreed with that. I didn't understand it. I think the Foden being taken out by Casemiro probably just affected everything because he struggled after he got taken out by another dirty tackle by Casemiro. Shock. So I just didn't understand it. I don't understand why Marmoush keeps getting jerked around. I'm starting to wonder if Pep doesn't rate him or, I kind of got the vibe that Marmoush is only in the lineup because Holland is out. Because otherwise I think he would have been on the bench. Kind of like the Bournemouth game. And I'm struggling to understand that because we spent 65 million on him and he's been absolutely cooking this season. So why not build around him? Why are you building around a 33-year-old whose legs are gone and he's leaving at the end of the season because of those legs? So I know I'm not Pep, but I just didn't understand it. But good for Nico O'Reilly. Good for him to get a start.
The one thing I will say is, and people will disagree with this all day long with me, that's fine, is our squad is a mess anyway. It needs rebuilding. I don't know why everyone's surprised by that. Marmoush, Kuznetsov, and Nico, he's treating the new players exactly as he's treated all new players. That's what Pep does. Does anyone remember Plodry in his first season?
I think Plodry got more game time, though.
Yeah, but he was absolute garbage. And everyone wanted resold.
He started out good, and then he...
No, he didn't. He was garbage the whole season. He was garbage, and he looked like a dumpster truck. When Rodri...
Fernandinho's legs hadn't gone yet either, so it was very much that. It was very much that if Rodri doesn't start doing Fernandinho numbers from the get-go, he's going to get ridiculed by the fans.
Omar Marmoush is just going to be, and I think he's still trying to figure out where he's going to play in. I think Omar Marmoush will play next season.
And I think we've got to give Marmoush free pass until the end of the season too, because we've signed him with the intentions of bringing him as like a second striker / number 10, and now he's got to play the number 9 role basically because of Haaland's injury. So right now, I think we just got to play him for what we can play him for, and then next season, then we can just go full ham and just go with see what Pep's true intentions are with this new squad.
I've also said we won't see the best of Marmouche until next season because of
100%, 100%.
because there's nobody who can get the ball to him.
And anyone
Like
who
long
thought that
balls,
he was,
Rodri excels at those.
yeah,
and
Kel, anyone that
Rodri.
thought that he was going to take those Bundesliga numbers at Frankfurt and put them in from game one when he came to City, no, it's not going to work like that. I'm afraid it's going to take time. It's not just because it's a new club, it's a new country. It's a completely new manager and a manager that nobody else can replicate. It's going to take time. If you want Marmouche to get back up to those numbers again, you may not see that for another 12 months. So, you accept it for what it is. Yes, there's a lot of potential in this kid, and his ceiling just continues to grow and grow and grow and grow. But you're not going to see it this season, or at least until the end of this season. You might see it next season, but it's going to take time.
Quite well, all things considered.
No way Stack Shite finishes top 5. It's close run thing team with the worst derby or the fan base reaction. Told you my opinion of fan base, as I got told by a Notts Forest fan, Villa fan, etc. Embarrassing. That's how they described it, and I would back that up. I think some City fans this year have been embarrassing. And
There's a lot of frustration. I just think we see the roster we have, and we think we can be doing better with it. That's where my frustration comes from.
It's crap. We wouldn't need a rebuild, Kelston, if it was any good.
Well, no, but part of the rebuild is like actually playing the new players and not just relying on the people who have. The reason you're rebuilding is because the other players aren't good enough, and to keep playing them, just lose me on that one.
That's the other thing. I think they are good enough. I think we've forgotten what we've done for the last 4 years and what toll that takes on the team. No team has played 70 games for the last 4 years running like we have. No team in world football.
I totally get that and accept that.
But no one's cutting them slack for that.
Yeah.
No one's cutting them slack. We're calling 30-year-olds uncles. What am I then, a T-Rex?
I know, this is ironic. I'm like calling Bernardo old, and he's 10 years younger than me.
No, that's Cretaceous period. You're more Jurassic or you're Triassic.
Modric, Salah, Casemiro. No one's calling them uncles.
Yeah.
I think United fans are not happy with Casemiro. They have been very upset with him this season.
Because we've all got angry and emotional, and we can't keep our emotions in check this year because we're not getting a shiny pot at the end of the season, even though we may still do in May.
Yep.
You know what I mean? People have just literally lost their mind. Well, I got told last night, someone said to me, I said, what happens if we finish out the top 5? So we finish out the top 5 and come back. Your standards are on the floor. Mediocrity. No, I can't do anything about it.
I heard that space last night. Oh, man.
What do you want me to do?
That got insane.
Pep's not getting sacked. And the other thing I'm getting a bit donged off with is people dancing around the Pep out argument. All these people some are too scared to say Pep out because of a reaction that will come back to them. Just own it. If you're Pep in, say Pep in, but he's had a crap season. Say Pep out. Stop all this. I don't believe in the rebuild. I don't get it. It's dancing around the question.
Bulgaria sounds fun.
Martin, we didn't try. Disagree with that. I disagree with that.
Martin, I think I have to just correct you on one thing as well too. Is if the 30-year-olds are old, then I don't know. That would put you more in like the Jurassic period. No, Amphipods, stromatolites.
Be very careful how you keep
the formation of our current planet. Yeah, like that's.
See, but this, like Harry, that's your opinion, mate. I disagree. I think the standards of the club don't change. It's your expectations that change, not standards.
The fact that it is a derby is probably why it's such an emotional reaction. Like we all just hate United so bad, and we see how terrible they are, and we just wanted to beat them so bad. And I think a lot of us are just
terrible. Like they've been one of the most informed teams in the whole league. Do you know why? Because everyone looked at the table. Again, I had this debate with Tone. Everyone looked at the table. No one looked at the results and how things have been going on.
They look pretty feckless in their against Forest, and I'm sorry.
If they've had a striker that has scored 5 goals, if he's going to score 5 goals,
they have 2 strikers. They're just both shit.
And against Arsenal, we should have won.
That's what I'm saying, Ed. I agree with you, Ed. I agree with that. And duels.
See,
someone call me lady in the chat. Do not call me lady.
Can I just say this is not constructive criticism. That shit from Pep brain dead select. Right. If Pep's brain dead, that's not constructive criticism. That's just being an asshole. On this channel, we do constructive criticism. If you want to insult, go to another channel to do it. Simple as. We're not going to do the insult road today. See what I mean? People go into the insults level. Tell you what, let's sack Pep and get Toxin Blue in. Sack Pep, get Toxin Blue in.
No, Pep must stay.
He wouldn't last 90 minutes.
I think Pep needs to clean this mess up.
But we've got to let him do it. No one's letting him get there to do it.
I am Pep in.
We've got to let him get to the rebuild.
Sorry, just these reactions for me. These reactions for me are just like, have some of us fan base suddenly grown a goldfish memory, where everything's just in loops after a few minutes? It's like, how many times do I have to say it until Martin and I are blue in the face? I will take 4 or 5 months of shit if it meant that I had 4 or 5 years of some of the best football I've ever seen my club play. I'll take that any day for the week. And if it means that the sooner we sort this out, the sooner that we can go on another run of 4 or 5 years of success, then sign me up. And maybe if it takes 4 or 5 years before some of these people start going, oh, Pep out, or, by then there's another manager comes in and they want him out or something like that. And it's like, I'm fine with this cycle of this chaos that people have just been saying, just because we've had a down season for the first time in half a decade. I can live with it. And if I can live with it, everybody else can. So don't have such short memories about things. It's like, we're not going to monopolize this league. We're not going to do a Bayern in the Bundesliga. We're not going to do what Juve did in the Serie A for years and years and years on end. It doesn't work like that. There's a certain monopoly in this league, and it's between 3 clubs, and we shattered the foundations of that over the last 4 or 5 years. So the way I see it is like, calm down, let the people in charge do what they want to do, because when we've let them do it, what's happened? We've come with success in the next 6 to 9 to 12 months time. So let them do it. If we're still doing this in 12 months time, then the criticism can start to be a little bit more justified. But until then, shut the fuck up. Let the club do what they need to do, okay? And move on, all right? This is a squad rebuild. This is a rinse and repeat of the 16-17 season with Pep, okay? He's finding out what's the deadwood, what needs to go, and what needs to be brought in to improve. And if we see the results next season, then those people that are going to be the loudest about saying they want to Pep out, they're going to be the loudest applauding and say, we're champions again. So just calm down, pump the brakes, and just let the club do what they do, because when we have done that, they've turned around and given us success. So leave it be.
Who needs a Rich rant and a Martin rant when you get a Pat rant? There you go. Pat rant.
I must still be jet lagged or something. Bloody hell, that's not me.
Yeah,
that was an out-of-body experience. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, weren't you in New York? I think
yeah.
I saw. Okay. Were you seeing what were you Oasis, right? Or
no, that's not till July. It's not till July.
Oh, that's not till July. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, right? Why can't we have Rodri on the sidelines? I
don't think he has his coaching badges. Doesn't he need his coaching badges?
That's like remember the days when
coaching badges.
Yeah, or remember the days when Vincent Kompany was injured, and we said, "Can we just have him on the sideline just for some motivation?"
Yeah, Cosmic Boogie. Yeah, we've said Pep's had an off season, but that's it. None of us. What do you want us to do? He's had an off season. Yeah.
Yeah,
the only time certain fans had these sort of meltdowns during successful seasons was in the first half of the season. Was in the first half of those seasons. He always said, wait until the second half of the season. Because if you're doing the same thing, then there's a bit more justification for criticism. But they never did it. They never did it. Because the club always backed up what they said that they were going to do.
What are we doing here? Looks like he's self-sabotaging.
Oh, come on, mate.
People go to bed and dream of these analysis ideas. Come on. He's just signing you to a deal and you think he's self...
See, what I get frustrated with is like he signed, like we clearly saw an issue at the beginning of the season, or when we went 1-14 or whatever. We addressed it in January, And so to just abandon, and then we started playing better when we started incorporating those players. Like, I think a big reason we started turning around is because of Nico in the midfield. It's not a glamorous position, but I think he's just helped so much. And to see him abandon that just has really frustrated me, because I see it as like the antidote to so many of the problems. And to just see it get benched for no reason is
it's not a glamorous position, Kel, but it's the most important position in Pep's lineup.
That's the point. And nobody else shown they can do it. That's why we went 14. They're getting ran over every week.
I agree. What happens if he's got a slight, we don't know, and he's kept it quiet? Because he played Wednesday. People are talking like he's been dropped for the last 4 games. He played on Wednesday against Leicester.
Well, why are we playing Gundo 3 games in a week when it's clear his 34-year-old legs can't handle it?
Right. Just to clarify, people, you all want a bigger squad. This is what a bigger squad will bring: more rotation.
Well, you can rotate. Let's see, but Gundo should have been rotated out. I would have rather him not played against Leicester and played against United.
Who was on that bench yesterday where you go, yep, I'm having him in?
Nico. I would have started Nico. Right. And if he had a bad game, you could have brought Gundo in.
Right. Who else?
I'm thinking of the position.
Because you brought Doku on. Doku was garbage. Doku added nothing to the game. In fact,
I'm not discussing Doku. I'm discussing the midfield.
No. I'm looking at the squad as a whole. Cal. So you had Doku, came on, did nothing. Jack Grealish came on, did nothing. Rico Lewis is a defender. McAtee, we know he's not good enough.
I wish Oscar Bob had been on that bench, but I realize he can't be because there's too many players. The only way Bob is going to get on the bench is if there's an injury, and that, to me, that's sad.
The squad's not good enough. That's where we're at, which is why we're doing a rebuild.
I would have, what Ed is saying is correct in the chat. Have Marmoush be the 9, in the midfield, bench Kova or something, and then play Doku out in the wing. That might have been a little better.
Dash just said what I just said. It's too soon to be giving this sort of criticism. This is the sort of criticism you give when it's been the same thing for 2 or 3 seasons, not half a season, not 2/3 of a season.
Yeah.
You can't expect perfection for a generation. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. And the best clubs are the ones that are not afraid to take a step back if it means that they can eventually take 2 steps forward. And that's what this club is good at doing.
Do you know why I'm different on the derby now? I was explaining to Jack. When we were Lickle Setter, then I get it. The derby was the most important thing.
Oh God, derby's 2 cup finals a year.
Yeah,
and you hope we drew them in rounds of the FA Cup and Carabao.
I want to beat them, but it's not. I'd rather win. I want to win wars than battles. Arsenal win battles. We win wars.
Oh, no one's worse at prioritizing battles over wars.
The only thing I'm going to fight on the rest of the season is Nico Gonzalez, because I think it's very clear the shape he wants to play is designed for Rodri. And there's nobody else in the world who does what Rodri does. And we've tried Kova in there. I don't think he worked. We've tried Bernardo there. I don't think he worked. We've tried Gundo in there. It hasn't worked. I think Nico has been the best of the 4 to try to play that one position. So that's all I'm asking for the rest of the season is I just want Nico to play. And you can rotate whoever you want next to him. Because I think he makes the shape work.
So he plays 8 games in a row. He plays 8 games in a row. When you were all moaned about Rodri for that reason, you all said to Pep, no, can be fair. You all said to Pep, he was running Rodri into the ground because he played him every game. Let's play Nico every game. If he gets injured, then you're back to exactly where you were.
Nico just got here, so I'm not treating that the same as Rodri, who was overplayed for like 4 seasons in a row. Nico just got here. I don't know how he was played before, so I can't factor that into it. But I just see it work right now, and I just want to keep seeing
That's what I'm saying, Kev. That's what fans do. They see something works, and they go, right, play it every time. And then when the injury comes or the suspension comes, that's when everyone goes back to, we played him a bit
too much. Yep.
Oh, we shouldn't have done that. Or we should have took him out. Because everyone lives in the here and now. And the trouble is,
if you got suspended,
But Pep and City can't look in the hearing now. They've got a look.
Do you know what's a good example? Look from an Arsenal side of things. You look at your channels like Lee Gunner and Northside, who have been screaming out they always wanted like a second player to compete with Saka for the right wing position, right? Because it helps, because healthy competition helps. It helps with rotation, and it stops your players from running the risk of being run into the ground. They never bothered to address the matter until they decided last minute at the 11th hour this season to the start of the season to sign Raheem Sterling. And by then it was too late. Saka kept playing, got run into the ground, wrecked his hamstring, and now he's in a position where he's at risk of even more damage if he comes back and plays more this season. That's something the City have done everything in their power to avoid with a lot of players. The problem is the one player that we left it too late for that recovery was Rodri. And that's the biggest issue that we have. And I think that's the problem, is a lot of teams rely so much on one player that they don't look at the overall perspective of like, no, you need competition there, not just because it makes the team perform better, but it also preserves the shelf life and the health of a certain player, so they don't end up with these injuries that can almost be, career crippling in a way. So
I get what you're saying.
I think when we look at like the situation with Rodri and that, it was always going to be difficult because it was such a fine line between someone who was going to get game time when Rodri was back healthy, but at the same time you don't want to overplay them, because then you're going to end up with two number sixes that are both going to be on long-term injuries as well. I get what you're saying. I'd love to see more Nico. I'd love to see more Nico
they
play
watch
as well.
Saka get overplayed, just like we watched Rodri get overplayed. Like Nico just got here, so I want to see him play. That's where I kind of differ on that, is because we literally just got him, and he didn't play a lot of those early games that we got him. So, and somebody put in the chat that he's played 100 minutes in the last 3 games. So
don't forget, we're
on can't play like 7 out of 8 of the last games or whatever.
Jack, you can't do anything about 6th place, mate. You're not on the board, and you're not on the tactics board. You're not on the staff, mate. Your job, Jack, is to support City and nothing else.
I'm just wondering.
My job is to support City and do nothing else. Pat's job, support City and do nothing else. Kel's job. The problem is, too many fans are getting way above their own station now and thinking they've got a say in football and transfers and negotiations. Wow. You get no say.
Yeah, I'm just a chump on the internet saying what
if you send a message, if you send a message
on the internet talking away about City, and none of us have got any kind of say on what goes on, but we all think we do. Jack, I'm not doing that at all. So grow up.
Oh my God.
Jack, grow up.
I'm basing my opinions on what I see, and I'm an idiot on the couch, and I'm seeing these problems. I'm sure Pep is seeing them too, but I'm just dumb and I'm not seeing the changes, but I don't know. I feel like we found a solution and we decided to abandon it, and I just don't understand why.
Right, I need to do.
That's just my opinion.
Benno, thank you very much for your very generous 199, mate. Whole concourse went a bit flat. I can imagine, because it was. I can imagine it went flat. Thank you so much, mate. Dash, City games against Red Cartel. Arsenal, Liverpool, United, 23-24, 2 wins, 5 draws. I don't know why is that become an issue? Why is that a record? I don't get that.
Well, usually we're in a title race, so that would matter, but we're not in one this year.
I'm confused. I thank you for the £5, Dash. Very kind of you, but I don't get the understanding of it. I don't get why.
That's 3 teams, but then if you look at City's record against the other 16 teams, would be absolutely impeccable compared to those 3. The problem with Arsenal, I'm going to pinpoint Arsenal here, is because they go on forever until they're blue in the face about their record against the top 6 for the last 3 seasons. It's because Arteta plays a sort of game where he doesn't care about winning the war. All he cares about is the battles, and that's not going to get you far. If it's okay. Oh, we haven't lost to Liverpool in 3 seasons. So yeah, but explain like all the drop points you've had against so many of the London clubs, Fulham, West Ham, for example. They're the reasons why you didn't end up. They're the reasons why you finished second in the league for back-to-back seasons. But they don't want to look over that because they look at the club for the table position that they're in. They think that if you dominate or make sure that if the 5 other clubs or 6 other clubs around you don't pick up points on you, then that's the reason why you win the league. Like as if 2/3 of the remainder of the league are completely irrelevant. That's not a winning mentality. That's not how you win leagues. You win leagues by getting the doubles over the bottom half of the table and then picking up everything else you can pick up off the top 5 or top 6 teams, and then anything else is just sort of play as you go. It's a really bad mentality to have. It's good if you're playing semi-finals and Champions Leagues and things like that, but it's not good when you want to play 38 games over a 10-month season. Makes no sense whatsoever.
I'm going to say something controversial here. That approach yesterday was an Arteta approach, playing for a draw. I didn't realize Pep was going to do something like Arteta would. Like,
Lenny, thank you for renewing for the 23rd month. Appreciate it. Mark, thank you. I know you gifted for 10 months, and I will respond back to your email tonight. I promise you.
Thanks, Foggy.
Well, thank you, Foggy. Please say thank you to Foggy if you have been gifted a membership. Appreciate that, mate. You are a legend. Spartacus has renewed for a 9th month, which is amazing. And then Spartacus with the 10 has said this standard shit has been such bullshit. The club doesn't care about what you say. If you don't win a trophy and don't get a top 5, what are you going to do? Stop supporting.
That's why I don't say the word standards.
This is why I don't do the standard shit.
Yeah.
Because
I have my complaints, but I never ever say standards. But I do complain. But
standards is a red club mentality.
Yeah, people can complain, but this standards is BS for me.
I can't deal with that.
You support your club, good, bad, indifferent. It's not you're accepting mediocrity, because I'm going to be straight with you now. I've seen lower than I've seen lower than mediocrity. So when Jack and Harry are telling me about mediocrity, I've seen lower than they have.
What it should be from your story and from everybody. No, what it should be from what it should be from anybody who's like Martin age or older, and anybody younger should be learning the 2 words of eternal optimism. Always looking to tomorrow, looking for better things.
The thing is, it's like Jack Lee made a very good point to me a few weeks back. The trouble is, we've gone into camps. The youngsters who've never seen the low times have gone, yeah, we've got Stan. I get it. You've got expectations. And the people who have, some have gone, no, I've seen this. And the 2 are clashing. For me, support how you want to support. Have whatever expectations you do. What we're doing is we're telling each other how to behave.
Yeah.
I will support how I want to support. If you don't like it, don't watch. Simple fact to this matter. Don't tell me how to react into a game. Don't tell me how to support a football club I've supported for 42 years. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's a false. Yeah, man. It's a false generational divide. It's a generational divide that should never exist.
It's getting stupid. These standards and expectations are very different. Expectations is what an individual has. Standards are what the club has. Standards don't change. City's standards are exactly the same this season as they will be last season and next season. Whether they've gone below them standards, that's a different thing. But their standard was to compete for all trophies at the start of the season. Their standards last season was to challenge on all fronts. Their standards in 2, 3, 4 years will be to challenge on all fronts. Now, whether your an individual's expectations are to win 10 in a row, 11 in a row, that's on you. But you're living in a dream world.
Don't throw it in anybody else's face.
That's all it is. That's the difference between expectations and standards. So, yeah, I think we just got to relax on telling each other how to bloody support.
Exactly, yeah.
Let people support how they want to support. It's getting bored, all this arguing that's going on.
I know. I feel like I have to always say, like, I'll make a point and then I'll be like, in my opinion, because otherwise, like, you're hating. I'm like,
you don't talk on behalf of me. It's like that. You should never have to say that in the first place.
Yeah. It's just...
Yes, you can complain, but
Mm.
don't have a go at me if I don't complain. Don't have a go at Pat if he does complain. Have a go at Kelsey if she. Just let people be how they want to be. Jesus. And like I said, unless I'm throwing paint up the wall and throwing something through the window, no one's happy.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to share your concerns. There'll be people out there to share the same concerns as you, or there'll be people who are willing to listen to what you have, what concerns you have. Yep, there's Kitty.
Yeah.
Newcastle standards will go through the roof.
Katniss is watching this and she's like, what's going on?
Harry, it's different now.
Looks excited. She looks excited.
Katniss, the rally cat. The rally kitty. Hi.
Martin, don't load your opinion on us. Right, City Ultra, can someone ban him? Just get rid.
Oh, dear.
Bye-bye, City Ultra. You got banned out of South Stand for the same thing. So you've been banned out of South Stand, now you're banned out of here. Bye. Yeah.
It's a rough day.
No, he got banned out. He got banned out of South Stand because he called me, Nobbins, Big Steve, and Daps Main Road.
Oh. But I thought the name of your podcast was going to be.
Because I'm not being funny, mate. I was here before you were wriggling around in your dad's ball sack. So see you later. Anyway, we should be playing plays based on form. What good is experience if they aren't performing? Listen, the sad thing is, do I think we played good yesterday? No. I thought we played exactly what Pep wanted, which was a draw, which is the sad thing. I thought if we'd have tried a bit harder. Personally, I'd have liked to have... It's not even about Nico for me. My biggest disappointment was I'd like to have started with Doku and Semenyo together from the off. Starting from the get-go and go at them that way. That's what I'd like to have seen. Didn't work. So be it. It is what it is. You know, we make the thing is, this. I remember we did it. We had a game like this two years ago. And I still can't figure out the bloody game. I need to look back. Where we all thought a point was crap. And in the end, it won us the league. And I can't remember where it was. And the thing is, I'm still looking. I do think City will beat Palace. I do think we'll beat Everton. The thing is, City aren't conceding goals anymore. That's 2 clean sheets on the bounce. We're undefeated in 4. This was always baby steps for me. When was the last time City went undefeated in 4 games? We couldn't win a game at one point. Never mind going 4 undefeated.
Martin, even remember the winning streaks that we used to go on, like 10 or more. They didn't start because we went on one of 4 straight games 5-0. It's because we were able to grind out. You know, it was never pretty, but you grinded out those wins, and that's where it always starts. So I'm not saying we're going to go on an 8 game winning streak or anything like that. But that's where those sort of things. That's where those things sort of grind out from. So.
Stephen, appreciate that. I hope you're well, mate.
Sorry, I disagree with that.
Foden's not been so, mate. Foden has had some mega problems off the field. And Stephen, email me. I'll explain it to you. But
I really wish that we could just let Foden go focus on his off the field stuff. And like I've been saying for a while, I think we should just bench him for the rest of the season. Send him to Dubai. Go clear your head, fix your problems, go see the doctors you need to see. Like, I just want Foden back. And I really wish he could, but with Haaland being injured, there's no chance it'll happen. I just want him to get the opportunity to become Foden again. Cause I really miss him and
Martin,
zero chance I would ever want him sold.
Would you want Foden on the squad going to the States?
No. Give him the summer off. I would say, like I said, I would bench him now and give him 4 months off until August. To sort out what's going on, like see the doctors he needs to see what these health problems that Jack Gon told us about. Like, go see the specialist. Go to Germany. Go to Japan. Go where all the specials are. Like, or specialists. Like, I want Phil to get fixed, and I feel like playing him is kind of making that not possible. And so, and I would totally accept him missing a few months to fix himself. And I wish we could do it, but I know it won't happen. So I'm just wasting my breath, but I love Phil. I really want him to get back to his best because he's such a joy to watch when he's Like last season was just incredible, and I want to see that Phil again.
He won us the 4 in a row. He can take all the time.
He
Do
did.
you know what scares me? Do you know
As far
what
as I'm
scares
concerned,
me?
he can take all the time he needs.
And I
I
explain
agree.
it.
All the time he needs.
Just let me explain it. David makes a great comment for 2 reasons. And I'm going to do a show on this soon. Because this is where I'm at with football. I'm worried where football's going as a fan base around the world. In the current side, I would have accepted defeat if we went out and played offensively.
I've seen that from a couple
So
of people.
what we're saying is, as long as we were to go, we'll take the defeat and the point. Are we not in a situation where we need the points more than the performances? Let's go back to this time last season. We had to win 9 games on the bounce to win the title. Everyone said, don't care about performances right now. Get the wins. We will take 9 1-0 wins to get out of town and get hammered every game.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why is performances now outruling points? Because in football, I thought points was the main thing, not performance. Listen, I'm going to go at you, David. I'm trying to get my head around where we're going here because you're not the only one. I've seen everyone said they'd rather be entertained and lose than be bored and win. I always thought football was about getting the results. I didn't know it was about entertaining. If I wanted entertaining, I go to a pictures. I go to the cinema.
Martin, you want to put ourselves in a scenario right now. What if we were doing this show right now and it was back in that run of 14 straight wins we needed to win the title in the formidable season? Every show would go for 5 minutes because we turn around and say, Liverpool won. Did we win? Yes. Do we really care about how we won? No. Good night, everyone. And we'll see you next week. Because that's all it did. We didn't care about the performances. Were we ahead at the 90 minute or after 95 minutes every game? We got it done, and that was it. And I think we're too worried about this and that, and about the performances need to improve because I've still got wounds. I've still got mental scars from the way we performed in November, December, and things like that. I think we just need to let let the COD play, and the performances are going to be beyond our control, and we just have to accept things for what they are. It's like, of course we're disappointed about this season. Don't get me wrong, but you got a combination of a new squad and a lot of old deadwood that needs to leave in the summer, and it can't be harmonious all the time. It's just. I think
a lot of people just feel like the new blood should be bedded in more than it has been.
No, I get what you're saying, Kel, but then if you look at previous times when we've had new squad members come in as well, like your Sanes and your Bernardo Silvas and that, they didn't hit the ground running until usually the second season in. So it takes time. It certainly takes time.
Some of them got more of an opportunity though.
It takes time, but I think if anything, if there's a benefit to this, your Marmouches and your Nico Gonzalez, they're actually going to probably hit the ground running sooner because they've been able to come in during a January transfer window and been able to take a lot of time to sit back and absorb and see where the club is. Use that information in the off season and then go full hammer and tongs for the next season. So they may not need a season to bed in. They've sort of come in. They've sort of been thrown in the deep end, basically.
The one before.
I have seen Jack. But what's this about? You keep telling me you have no issue with Foden, and then put stuff like this in.
I just empathize with Phil as a human being, and as a human, I want him to heal. So that's where that whole monologue that I just had a minute ago. I empathize and I want him to get better.
What do you mean?
I don't want him to get sold.
I can't believe what people... Jack, when I get told what you said and you deny it and then you don't help yourself with comments like that, come on.
Jack's on the wind-up.
He's on the
Now, but a hex on the team. Get out of here, Steve.
Foden will be back. He'll be fine.
I'm sorry,
Haaland will be back. It's fine.
I'm terribly sorry Foden's got an illness that I hope none of you get.
See, I just want him to fix it. That's all I'm saying. I think the football is not important for him right now. I think his life is important. Like his health and his life are important, or more important than his job. And a lot of times when people have illness at work, they take time off. So I wouldn't begrudge him if he did it. I would accept that.
I'll put it this way, Jack. I hope you don't get what he's got.
Me?
No, Jack.
No,
Like,
Jack.
Okay, I was like, wait a second.
No,
I'm like, I'm on Phil's side here. Don't say that to me.
The only reason I know is my sister-in-law's got it. I know how she does to deal with it. How come you keep doing Twitter space if you get? I don't get any problems, Jack. I don't get any problems.
Powder keg last night. Whew.
People don't like me, Jack. There's a simple thing is, mate. People don't like my opinion. Don't listen. I'm not going to change.
I think it generates good conversation, though. Even if I disagree with you, I think we can. I like the conversation it generates. So that's just.
I've said this. This is the bit that winds everyone up. I'm here for the love of City, not for the love of Brasso to put on my pots at the end of the season. Pots come and go. My love for City don't. Division 4, Division 3, Division 2, Division 1, I'm there.
Me too.
This is the bit people hate about me for some weird reason and then say I have low standards. No, I don't have standards. I have one standard. Love Manchester City. City till I die. And then I get told the club's changed.
Look, I've said it before. I've said it before. This club hasn't been the same since we let Danny Tiato go. So I've just been bitter, and I'll just get through it.
Yeah, make sure you do say thank you to whoever did gift you a wonderful membership. It's probably that Fogger because he's a legend.
Yeah, that guy every stream. So big up Fogg. Mark Fogg. That guy's the man.
Depending on how we do in the Club World Cup, we'll have yes, it will. You can money all you want, it ain't changing. It's fine. I care more about Phil the human than Phil the footballer. Exactly, but some don't anymore, which is sad.
Is DC saying that because of the ticket prices as well?
Yeah, I'm not going to go now because they're too expensive.
If we make the final, I might go. If we make the final.
It just sucks because the group stages are like at a horrible time for me because like I have a bunch of stuff going on like in that time period.
Yeah, look, this is the thing. I was doing my research because I was thinking like, oh, all the matches are on the East Coast of the United States. That means like the game, there'll be prime time, and over here they'll be on at like morning tea time, like 9, 10 a.m. And then I find out like more than 3/4 of the games are going to be like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I was like,
yeah,
3 o'clock on a weekday. Look, I know it's summer and I know school's out and all that sort of stuff, but it's like not everybody's going to be able to make the games at those times. Like, why aren't they on at 7:30, 8:30 p.m. or something like that on the East Coast? Why aren't they prime time?
Well, because 3 p.m. In America is like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. UK. I think they're.
Do you think they're catering to Europe?
Audience.
Yeah. That's what I was concerned about.
Yeah, I think they're catering to that. I was really annoyed that City aren't coming to the West Coast.
It just shows FIFA say they're the world governing body. It's like no. They're just a more brassy UEFA.
Well, because there are West Coast games. I'm like, it's just such a pain in the butt for me because there's no direct flights from where I live, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna go. I was trying to get tickets through Carl, and they're too expensive. I'm just like, forget it. I'm not going. My cousin's graduating from the military.
That Juventus game might be worth
between two of the games, so I'm just like, I'm not doing that. I gotta go. I gotta do my cousin's thing. That's more important to me.
Yeah.
Tactics. There was no issues, no injuries, no nothing. Just tactics. That was the only reason he was not picked. This team, yeah, exactly. That's it for me. Anyway, see you later. No worries, Harry. Take care. We miss Howard a lot. We do.
Yeah, we do miss Holland. Everyone who says we play better with Holland or without Holland,
I think at the moment he's trying to play him through it. See how he gets on. He does look tired, and I wish him all the best. So obviously you saw that yesterday why Pep jumped to his defence on the disgusting chanting that goes on. By the way, I know someone said about the Mateus Nunes comments. I don't think they were that bad. He said exactly the same about Phil Foden 4 years ago. He said Foden wasn't ready to play in the midfield because he wasn't. What was the word he used? He used a very similar word. He said the exact same. It was to do with his decision making
or something. His decision making was a bit poor or something like that. Yeah.
I just thought it was a weird thing to say after I thought Nunes had a pretty decent game.
No,
he's like probably feeling good about himself, and then it's just like that probably not.
Yeah, you know why? This is because the journalist had asked him, why is Nunes our right back? Why can't he go into the midfield? So he had to answer it.
Yeah.
I think people think he just sat there and went, right, here we go. Then he just said the comment and made him look like a right idiot. We need to get you back on. And by the way, at some point, Total Sports Talk. Yeah, make sure you are thanking Fogger. Exactly. I don't get this entertainment stuff. If I want entertainment, I'll go and watch the next film or show or Alton Towers.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bloody,
The cinema's not too good anymore.
This is me who can't stand the light show at the start of the games. I'm not there for entertainment.
I'm sorry for that. That's a very American
You're not there for
thing.
90 minutes either.
Ooh.
Foden's not been given
Here we go. Here we go.
What
Batteries
about-
in your remote. Season ticket.
Well, spoiler alert. The reason I'm not going to go to Club World Cup is I'm going to make a big effort to come to the Etihad next season.
Good.
So I
Good.
better find a ticket at some point. Not through Viagogo.
Sorry. Right, hang on. Jack West, what point am I missing? So I'm not. You're just not allowing me to have my opinion, Jack. As you're doing now every show, you don't allow me to have my opinion for some weird reason. I don't have to agree with you, Jack.
Can agree to disagree.
Yeah, I think Mark's giving you your opinion. He doesn't agree with it, but yeah, he's.
I don't agree with it. You don't agree with me. Let's move on. I don't understand. Yeah, this is what people do, and then what they'll say is Martin doesn't allow other opinions when it's them not allowing me to have my opinion. They get the two mixed up. It's my feeling that there's a focus on next year when the season's not done yet. I agree with that because myself, David, that's where I've gone. I've switched to next season because I've already accepted this season for what it is. If we finish 5th or 6th, so be it. We move on. We have a year in the Europa. We have a year in the Europa.
Some cracking away days. I think there'll be a few people who'll say, "Oh, this Europa League's not too bad." When you're sitting in Astana in Albania and you're paying about 75p for a pint.
Do you think Astana is going to be?
Given the second living in the world right now, I don't think anybody would complain about that too much.
I think Astana is more.
How
far is that? That's a pretty far flight from England. I've got a map up here, so I'm like, that's pretty far. Even from Istanbul to Baku was like 2 hours. So UK to Astana.
Well, if we're in Europa League, that's where the final's at this year or next year.
Yeah. Hey, we have good luck in Istanbul.
I'm here for it. Totally here for it.
Shit, man, I might go out for that.
Yeah. Martin, should we move on? I know we wanted to have a bit of a chat about Kevin.
Yeah, we're going to one set last year and then we're going to move on to the Kevin. Martin, have you seen the Morgan Gibbs White? Yes, that is true. Morgan Gibbs White is on the radar.
Like I said, Morgan Gibbs White and Rodri meeting in the changing room. Woo.
Everyone will go mad about that and go, no.
I'm just here for the memes.
Do you know what? This
Actually,
is a great comment.
Isn't Gibbs White and Phil Foden like meant to be like best mates?
This is a great comment.
Morgan Gibbs White was like the godfather.
They're mates, aren't they? Yeah.
What a comment this is. Are you telling me we cannot just be patient for 3 months and we'll start winning titles again? Even one title is fine because it's not easy for the team.
We could still win a title this season.
Yeah,
we are still in the race for a trophy. Like, it's not over yet.
No, Jack, I don't. No, let's not do this, Jack. Let's not do this on here, mate. Calm down. Because you have got a problem with Foden. You have. And it's fine, you can do. Denton Dixon says, hi. You can ask Jack West. Jack West said when you tweeted it out. Foden needs to be taken out of the England squad, man. I agree with you.
No, I think he means the City squad.
Oh, the City squad. I would, if we had enough players, I'd agree with you, but we don't.
I'm on that.
There you go.
I would do it now, even without the.
Foden's issues are something you wouldn't wish on your best mate. It will probably not be revealed unless he says it in every year. There you go. And his mother warned you all 3-4 months ago. For some reason, we've
I really hope it. I hope we can get through it. You know,
we've stopped being human beings. That's what gets me.
Well, that's
Fair
why I
play,
want him to
fair
get
play.
better. I empathize with him as a human being. Like I want him to live as high a quality of life as he can.
He's one of our own. He's out of our academy. He's a City fan. Like you, like me, like Jack Lee. But anyway, Denton Dixon, thank you for the gifted one. You are a legend. Simo Sups has gifted 5 memberships as well. Thank you so much for your kind generosity. And Amar has renewed for 12 months as well. You know what that means, which will take us straight into KDB.
More than you believe. More than you believe, I'm happy.
Right, what we're going to do is, because this actually does work, today. Actually works really well. But we're going to talk about this chat.
Let me talk! Let me talk! Let me talk! Come on!
KDB has now been officially confirmed. He is leaving the club at the end of the season. There we go. So what do you think, gentlemen? And ladies. Oh, sorry, I'm reading the chat at the same time. Pat and Kelso, what do you think?
He should have stayed. Pep out, Cheeky out, Viana get in the bin.
Wow.
No.
Sad. I'm devastated because KDB is my favorite player, and so I'm very sad about this. But unfortunately, Father Time is undefeated. So this day was coming, and it's been an absolute privilege to watch him for 10 seasons. So like we saw prime KDB, and I will never forget that. So it's sad, but you know, it's just the life of a professional athlete. So I'm hoping we get some magic moments, but it's kind of clear his legs have gone. We haven't seen quite the magic this season. I thought he was pretty good last season when he came back from injury, but this season I just don't think he's been able to find that form. And you know, we do have to move on. And I'm secretly hoping he comes to MLS so I could watch him here in the United States. So there's rumors of San Diego. I've heard those have been snuffed, but San Diego is a short flight for me, so I would love that. So we'll see what happens. But absolute legend. He's the best Premier League player I've ever seen. I admit to have not watched. I've only been watching for about 15 years, so I missed a lot of primetime players, but he's the best I've ever seen. And my favorite memory of him was I've been to one game at the Etihad. I went to that 7-0 Leipzig game, and he scored the 7th goal in like the 92nd minute or something. So the fact that I got to see him score a goal in person just makes me so happy. So best of luck, KDB, and thank you for everything.
Yeah, look, I might go down a little bit of the rabbit hole, one from experience and one from what I've seen just watching from here at home, and also what I got to see live as well. But the thing that really stands out for me is Kevin De Bruyne, not just the player, but also the human being, was also it sort of personifies sort of the way this club has gone, you know, since the takeover in 2008, where yes, we sign players in the hope that they're going to be greats one day. We hope that they're going to be successful. They're going to bring the club a lot of success as well too. But the thing that stands out for me with him is just the same as every other great player that's performed and played for, you know, up to 10 years in this club, is he's been an absolute consummate professional as well. He was never in the headlines for any reason. You know, anytime you ever heard about him and his family, it was always something nice. It was something heartwarming or something like that too. And I think that's what we have to pride ourselves on this club so much is, you know, how much of a professional these players are. You never hear about them off the field unless it's something good. And Kevin felt that bill exactly. But the thing that stood out for me the most was he led his talking. Funnily enough, you know, let me talk. He he did all of his talking on the field, and by God, did he wasn't just talking; he was screaming from mountaintops. Some of those balls, some of those passes, the vision that he had, you know, like, you know, you could talk about certain other great players that have come, you know, through this generation or previous generations as well, and you know, as much as we might love a player who can dance through 5 or 6, you know, midfielders and defenders to score a goal. Kevin was one of those players who said, "No, screw it. I've got the vision to put a pass through that can cut through an entire team," and he did that week in, week out. You know, so he did that week in, week out, and he did it with absolute authority as well. Sorry,
There's
Yeah,
Jack West.
he did it week in, week out with absolute authority as well. It was, we saw glimpses of the quality player that he was for that season under Pellegrini.
Romania.
But then Pep came in. And
Yeah,
just
he's trained.
absolutely just turned him into an absolute world beater midfielder. We can go back and talk about that Centurion season, some of the passes he made. Like I know he had more clutch performances in other games, but the one that still stands out for me was the 7-2 match against Stoke, where they'd somehow jammied their way into like only being behind 3-2, and then he played that second half like a man just possessed and pissed off as well. We think about those 40-yard passes that he put through to Gabriel Jesus, that 40-odd-yard pass that he put through to Leroy Sané, certain things like that where he could take a game by the scruff of the neck. He was clutching a lot of performances as well too. If he wasn't putting balls on a plate for his attackers, and he was coming through and whacking balls from 30 yards out anyway. The man just had so much versatility and, could do so much for the club with just one play, with one performance and that too. And, I like the fact that we can look back on, his time here as maybe sort of like his last true hurrah. We don't know what he might do in the next few weeks, but his last true hurrah was that return from injury last season where he then scores probably the most important goal of the season, and then sets up the most assist, easily the most important goal with Oscar Bob away at Newcastle. There's going to be so many. It's funny, like we're so worried about the 4 goals at Wolves as well too, which sent us on our way to
the way he announced Holland.
Yeah, but the thing for me is just like the man is just a human highlight reel. He was clutch. He was spectacular to watch. And, and I'm so glad that, he was there to do so much for us as well too. He's won everything he can as a player. So he doesn't fall in that category of like a Vincent Kompany or Sergio Aguero, where it's like, well, they never got over the line winning the Champions League, or they never got over the line winning this or winning something like that. He now has that to hold on to for the rest of his life. So nobody will be able to judge him in that category as well too.
So glad.
And the big thing as well too, just in closing as well too, is hindsight's a wonderful thing, but we've also got to look at the fact that he was absent from last season. But the reason why he was absent for so long last season as well was the man basically won us a treble playing with just one hamstring, and the other hamstring was like a piece of shredded ham, basically, from what they said. The fact that they were able to maneuver him around and get the treatment right and play him in the games that they felt he was best to play in, and then rest him for the ones that they think they could do without him, basically. But to do that with that sort of health concerns lingering over you and then obviously it was a shame that it came to a front in the final in Istanbul. But you got to remember the players that got us there in the first place, and he was one of them. So for me, he'll always be an immortal. He will always be regarded as, one of the greats, if not the greatest player to play in this shirt. Everybody has a right to say that, Colin Bell was the best, or those who got to see him. And I totally get that, and I accept that as well too. But when I look at what Kevin De Bruyne has done for these 10 years, it's one of those things where you talk to the old generation, they talk about how good Colin Bell was. Well, now when I get to their age, I'm going to be so proud to talk about how good Kevin De Bruyne was, talking to younger people as well. And that's the thing that I'm so proud of having Kevin De Bruyne at this club, is it gives me that generational player to hold on to and say, you should have seen Kevin De Bruyne play back when I was your age, sort of thing. So it's one of those things where it's like, maybe it's the one thing left in when I get older that I'll happily talk about, because I know there's certainly a lot of older people over in Manchester that have spoken to me about how damn good Colin Bell was. So for me to be able to pass on that torch, to have my own player to hold on to, is something that I'm so excited about. And, I can't thank him enough, for everything he's done for Kevin De Bruyne. And let's hope we can, get over the line, win us an FA Cup and give him the send-off that he bloody deserves, because he's been absolutely unreal for us.
I want to see him lift the trophy just so bad. I know even if it's an FA Cup, I just want to see him have that like captain's moment. Also, underrated moment from the treble season was when he had the pirate eye.
Yeah.
I think it was at Leicester or something. Was it at Leicester? It was in the third kit. I remember. It looked like he had black eyeliner on, but he had like this weird black eye.
It was at home against Bruyne. He scored a banger.
Oh, that Leicester goal that season. Woo! That Arsenal goal away at Arsenal. Ooh,
what do you reckon, Martin? I mean, the man was just not only just because of the success too, but the man was just a human highlight reel.
He was insane. Yeah. Like if you go look at a comp, you're just going to be like, I can't believe what I'm watching.
Indeed, for me on KDB.
It's pure magic.
I think KDB, see, people say he was the greatest ever player. And for me, subjective, I always say David Silva. But I've got
He's my
David
favorite.
Silva as 1A, KDB as 1B.
Mm.
I can't really split the two because I both enjoyed them. David Silva's did things I never thought any footballer would see live. Kevin De Bruyne, exquisite, did things that David Silva couldn't do, and vice versa. And it's been a pleasure to watch those two. I can't thank KDB enough for everything he's done. It will be a very sad time. Hopefully at Wembley, we'll get to see him on May 17th, I believe it is, in the FA Cup final. Or whoever's at Fulham away, if we can get a ticket. Or Bournemouth at home, we'll see. But it'll be a pleasure to say goodbye to him and wish him all the best. I probably wouldn't play him in the Club World Cup.
I don't think his new club would allow it because
Well,
because
that's my
his
thing. I don't
contract
think
kind of
the new
end in
club-
the middle of
Yeah.
it. And what if he gets injured? Like they're not going to pay big money.
To be honest
I
with
think
you,
Jack Gone has just said Inter Miami are rumored.
That's
I
what
don't
I
know
mean.
if they have the
to
designated
be honest,
spot,
to be honest though, Kel, I think MLS. I think MLS. If I was a betting man, I'd say MLS would probably be where he goes. But he's got the luxury of knowing that it's a calendar year season. So if he wants to, he can take 6 months off before he makes up his mind.
It's true. Yeah,
don't
season
think
just
he
He doesn't
started.
have to. He doesn't have to come into a club halfway
No,
through a
he will.
season. He could.
He will. He'll go straight into an American club or even a Saudi club.
What
Maybe.
about
I don't know,
are
I just-
NYCFC in contention at all?
No, because I've got a feeling that maybe it's me. Surely that would have been announced at the same time
Yeah,
because it's still part of CFG, isn't it?
exactly.
No,
That's why I thought we
I
would
still
do
think there's a
that.
possibility that it will. I think I've always held on to the whole idea of like NYC will want some big name in there when they go to their new club in Queens, to Etihad Park, which is meant to open in 2027. That's not far off. That's not far off.
Maybe if he took a little break and then, like you said, the calendar year, that might actually help his body quite a bit too. You
Yeah.
know, help him heal, help him recover a little bit.
Either way, he's got time on his side anyway. Now he does.
Yeah.
Part with a 10 out of 10 eulogy. Not dying.
I guess mine didn't compare.
He's not dying, Dash. He's just moving on.
He's gonna get. Also, I kind of like the fact that he's.
Nah, am I right?
announced it
Am I
already.
right though? Am I
He's
right though?
gonna
Anybody
get
sort of my
such a
age or
great
younger?
send off. Like I'm
Yeah.
so excited for this. Like this is the kind of send off we should have given David Silva, and we're gonna give it to De Bruyne. I know it was a COVID, so we couldn't give David Silva the one he deserved, and Vince and company announced it kind of late. So I think we'll just give Kev this like epic send off, and he deserves it, man. He's done so much for our club, and like I said earlier, it has been an absolute privilege to watch him.
Well, I think if I was speaking on behalf of Kevin De Bruyne, I hope we do give him a statue because it'll be
Well.
the most bronzed. It's be the most bronzed he's ever been in his life. So
Get some sunscreen on it.
Thank you, Brant, for renewing for the 21st month. Getting on to your 2-year anniversary. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate your continued support. KDB made other players plays around him like, yes, I agree with that. That leaves on KDB number 1, I might go number 2.
I'm the other way around.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
the other way
That's a
around.
1A,
I still love
I can't
David Silva.
decide.
Yeah,
Kevin De
yeah.
Bruyne was unbelievable for what he did, but I still love David Silva more.
David Silva was just wow. Yeah. The fact that we have gotten to see both of them in their primes,
Plus Aguero, plus company.
Aguero, company, and
Plus, yeah.
yeah.
No, I've got a really good question for you. I put this to
Rodri.
some of our Sydney Blues group chats. I put this to you. Kevin De Bruyne has had some absolutely spectacular seasons. Don't get me wrong. But here's the thing. Do you think any one of his seasons was better than Yaya Touré's 13-14 season?
I will rate that season from Yaya so high. Like it's better than anything Rodri's ever done. I still think 13-14 Yaya was better than Rodri's Ballon d'Or season. He was unplayable that season. Like he was.
That's the thing.
So
I've always said, because I thought Kevin De Bruyne did it for longer. He had more brilliant seasons. but I don't think his best season was better than Yaya Touré's 13-14 season. What you had with Yaya was you had a number 8 with strikers numbers.
Yeah, that guy was insane.
That 13-14 Yaya still blows my mind. I still love watching highlights of it. He was unbelievable that season.
I think that's probably one of the best seasons probably the best season I've seen from a midfielder.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been watching as long as everyone else, but that season was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, go on, mate.
Amar, thank you so much for your very generous super chat. Thank you, Matt, for these venting sessions. Listen, people can vent. I just don't like when people attack players. I think there's too much of that going on. There's too much attacking going on this season. I find it crazy, but it is what it is. Colin Henry and Peter Beardsley. Peter Beardsley only signed on loan for us, though. So technically. None were as good as Glauber Berta. Very true. Kevin De Bruyne, my friend. I'm lucky to have seen Colin Bell. There you go.
Wow.
My dad will always say Colin Bell.
Lucky you.
Thank you, Stephen, because like I said, like people like yourself have spent years telling me how good Colin Bell was. Now I've got that to hold on to when I get to your age, when I talk about Kevin De Bruyne to younger people.
Yeah, Tommy did. George way up. Yeah.
What did he say?
He said Tommy did say watch out for the he did say watch out for the Fulham game. Make sure you get your tickets for the Fulham game.
Oh.
I'd rather be in his last home game than be at the last game.
Right, you both spoke over each other there, so one of you will have to stop and the other one will have to go.
I'd rather go to the Bournemouth game. I'd rather be at the last home game than be at the last game in general.
Yeah, tough.
Well, Fulham away is like a home game because you have that mixed away section, that mixed home section where you can all go in, which I find crazy, by the way, at their place.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, but also too, I think collectively most City fans also say that their favourite away day in London is Craven Cottage.
I walked around Craven Cottage the last time I was in London. I really wanted to go to a game there, but they weren't playing the day I was there, unfortunately.
By the way, 176.
Full America. Yeah,
we're not even on 100 likes. We should be on 100 likes. Come on, let's get to 100.
115. We need to go to 115.
Yeah, we normally try and get to 115. Slacking on the likes lately. You lot the thumbs up. Hi, Lady DC. How do you say goodbye to such an iconic player for the club we love? Get him a well-deserved statue. He is going to get a statue that has been confirmed.
It has to be bronze because he's been such a good role model for the
Pose are we going to go with? What pose are we going to go with? Are we going to do the Real Madrid? Are we going to do
Thank you, Dash. Thank you, Dash.
Are we going to shove in Arteta?
If anybody thinks Kevin had better seasons than Yaya, your opinion, totally. But I don't think anybody so far has touched what Yaya did in that season.
KDB for longevity, Yaya for the one season.
Hit us up, DC.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
DC, when you come over, let us know.
Wow, that's awesome. Have fun, DC.
I've seen some say Rodri. Yeah, Rodri's going to be in that combo soon, you know.
I think Rodri needs a little more longevity because it took him
he's only been
like unplayable for. It's only been like three-ish seasons, 3 or 4 seasons. I think he needs a few. I think he needs to keep building on it.
Well, to be honest, his first season was a bit average, a bit below average, and then he sort of started really going under Fernandinho's wing. And then once Ferner left, Rodri just took off.
Yeah, it was 21-22 when Rodri really cemented himself, and then that treble season, whoa, and last season, whoo.
Yeah, we forget Rodri's already been here for half a decade.
I know he's the last good midfielder I think we've signed.
Martin, do I think Rodri will be back for the Club World Cup? Yes, I do think he'll be back for the Club World Cup.
Shoot. I was hoping we'd save him for August, but I think he's chomping at the bit.
He's been off for so long that if he plays in a 3 or 4 week tournament and then has another 4 or 5 weeks off, I don't think it's going to harm him any way whatsoever. He's had enough time off now that he's been able to rest, relax, recuperate. It's the other players. There's certain players that have played majority of this season I'm a little bit concerned about.
Yeah, we have a lot of those too. Like Yashko, Holland, Bernardo, I really worry about them next season because of how many minutes they're playing this season. Joshko especially. Now Holland has his break.
Yes. Michael.
You can't do that. You can't do
Michael,
that.
Michael, I got a good one for you. The last trophy tour we had, I think it was the treble trophy tour. We were going to get Jack Rodwell to come in as a special guest because he plays in Australia, and he had to pull out at the last minute, and everybody was convinced it was an injury.
Got a point here. Rodri went 70 games undefeated.
I know. That is insane.
And Ballon
But
d'Or.
Yaya scored 20 Premier League goals. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Telstar. Rodri scored the winning treble goal.
Mm-hmm.
Also got us back in. Everyone talks about KDB for the Full at Villa game, which I get. Who scored the equaliser?
Rodri. I know. I made a video about it.
Who scored it, Ballon d'Or winner?
Who scored the goal last season that basically secured the 4th league title?
Yeah, so Rodri's going to be in that combo soon,
I know. Oh, Rodri. I fully expect Rodri to get a statue. 100%. That guy has our first Ballon d'Or winner. Like,
It'll be the first ever statue. It'll be the first ever statue with the shirt. Be the first ever statue with his shirt tucked in. That'll be sure. That's for sure.
That'd be lovely to do that. I'd do that.
We have to do that. Rodri tucked in shirt. Yes.
I would do all three of them.
Just all three. Yeah, just doing all three. It'd be brilliant.
That'd be amazing.
Yep.
Look, Spartacus has to go that one worse. No modern players in him. You just have to go that one little bit too far, don't you, Spartacus?
First season was pretty epic too.
He's got a point. I said
I just goal scoring.
Kevin De Bruyne did it for longer, but Yaya had the best season.
He did it for 5
I give KDB longevity, but I give Yaya that one season. That's just my opinion.
Yaya sat down and had a rest for 25 minutes when he scored a goal. Scored a goal and went, I'm staying here. Get me up in 5.
Strikers numbers from a number 8 position. That's unbelievable.
It's true. You can't look at me and say, I did not have a little sleep every time he scored a goal.
Well, what is Ed saying? Rodri had 40 GNA. No, he didn't.
When did he have 40 GNA? We're making
when did he have 40 GNA? Rodri had like 25 GNA when he won the Ballon d'Or.
That season was as close to a Messi level. So you're taking the piss now. You're taking the piss here. You just want to get Martin rage baiting on here, don't you? There's a bit of rage.
Do you know what's funny is how slow you are how late you are to the party, Martin? Because I mentioned this about 5 or 10 minutes ago. And all of a sudden, you see a couple of comments just backing up what I've said. You're like, this is all ridiculous.
On me.
This is all ridiculous. Your opinions are shit.
Oh, God. Here we go.
You know what? If I quit in the summer, I'm blaming all you lot.
Here we go.
If I walk away in the summer, it's all your faults. Because I'm not
Sorry, Martin. Are you happy for a statue
inmates
as well?
Are taking over.
Martin wants a statue too.
The inmates are taking over the asylum. That's what's happening.
Yeah, it's just a statue of Martin in front of the food vans for having a fag.
I said it's there.
Rodri statue, Martin statue, Martin statue.
It's just out the front, just chain smoking. If you press a button, smoke comes out.
Wow.
Gone just confirmed, yeah.
On to the Martin and Kel show.
It's an interactive.
He never stopped.
For me, he's the Mike Tyson. I think the 1920 KDB still are better than Of course,
he got 20 goals though. Yeah, 20 goals.
They're winding it up with the bloody Yaya stuff.
I get that, but I also look at the stats leading to a potential trophy. And Yaya basically want us to double that year.
Ed's going to go watch Victor Hayes and Claudio Echeverri.
Talk about Juma Bart. Did you see Juma Bart again? Now, hang on. You were all telling me, buy this fella, buy that fella, buy this centre back, that buy. Juma Bart, the way he's going, needs to be brought into Manchester City. The guy is a man mountain. I want to see him in the Club World Cup.
This isn't just based off what you saw this weekend. Like for several weeks, has he just been an absolute rocket launch?
He's been.
The 3 games he's played, they've conceded 0 goals.
Wow.
I got a buddy who watches Lens, and he says that guy every game he's like, dude, this guy's insane. Dude, this guy's insane.
Wow.
So I'm gonna trust that guy.
Just another, well, I don't want to talk too soon, but again, this is another player that is going down this track of like, well, we're not just a big money spending club. We're actually a club that actually does a damn good bit of scouting as well.
That is
Because
a
we picked
Hugo
these two
Viana
players in
signing for
Kuzanov
me.
and Race out of the blue. Nobody had known anything about him, and then all of a sudden you hear about this Juma Bar guy, which everybody's saying, "Oh, it's just going to be a CFG loan piece or something like that." Now you're talking about we've just made good relations with another club in Lunds, given them a player. Now he's absolutely just tearing it up. It's like we're not just a club that wants to go for the big centre back currently in the Premier League. We're actually willing to go out and look in the market and do the right scouting and things like that. Which is why I've always held on to. It's like I'm excited to see what Viana can do, because yes, I want the Florian Wirtz player, but I also believe that the scouting is good enough that we may be able to find some sort of diamond in the rough. We may be able to find a player that's at Wirtz's level, but we might be able to pay bloody Manuel Akanji levels of money for him. I'm not saying we won't be 15 million like we paid for him, but it'll be damn cheap for the player that we get. I think that there is every chance in the coming years that we'll start finding these sort of players just by scouting and recruiting and not waiting for them to go to another club and then they reach a £100 million figure before we have to buy them. I think we're going to see some really, really serious scouting over the next few years with this club. And I think Viana's with the experience in the Portuguese league and that, I think we're going to see a lot of it. I really do.
Dude,
I'm so excited about the unknown. I'm excited about the unknown.
I said this in January. I was like, all three of those defenders, Husanov, Victor Hayes, and Juma Ba, I was like, these are all Viana signings. I don't think any of them were Tiki signings. I think every single one of them was a Viana signing. So
it's one of those things where, like, if you had 5 minutes to have a chat with Hugo Viana, you would probably turn around and say, Hayes, Victor Hayes, Kuzanov, and Juma Ba, did you have anything to do with them? And you say, yep, it was all me.
I think they were all him.
Because I think if you put him in the
Tiki signings whatsoever.
But also too, if you put him in the position where it was like, if you were sporting director still at Sporting Club de Portugal, you would say, would you be scouting these players? And he said, I reckon he'd say absolutely. They would be in a green and white shirt already.
I heard he'd been scouting Hayes for a couple of seasons. So
yeah,
that's exciting. That's exciting to bring that, because
that's fair play if we're scouting. That's fair play if we're scouting, because he would have still been in the academy if it was a couple of years ago.
Something like that. That's what I've heard.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. I might have heard incorrectly. I'm not sure, but I think Juma Bob. I think we're gonna have to loan him again next season, because I don't think we're gonna sell any center backs because of the homegrown thing.
Bring him
in.
But I don't think we're gonna sell any defenders outside of Walker.
Oh no, Akanji, Ake, or Stones are going to go. It's one of those.
I think Akanji's going to be the one to go, honestly, because he's the only one who's going to get us any money, and he's a foreign slot we need to open up. And I think Ake is a
homegrown as well too. Ake is a home,
and they're homegrown.
It's going to be tough out of those three. Which one goes? Because I don't know. It's like Ake is a homegrown. Stones is wage.
It's just
maybe Akanji, because Akanji, we would get some money back for him, or actually we'd probably make a profit on him.
We could make a profit on Akanji, I think. I think we could sell him for 20 million. I don't know what he has left on his deal, but also Akanji, like I said, a foreign slot to open up. That's going to become an issue, because if we're going to bring in nothing but foreign slots, we have to start getting rid of some of them. And I do think we will. I think we'll get rid of Kaba. I think we'll sell him. KDB leaving opens up a slot, a foreign slot. Ederson very likely to leave. That's a slot. If Ortega leaves, that's a foreign slot. So, because we're not. I know it seems like all the names we're linked to are all the foreign players. So we're gonna have to get rid of some of them, and it seems like we're on track to get rid of at least 3 or 4, potentially more.
No, this would be a statue.
Costa
coffee in one hand and the other.
Anyway, right. We're getting to the Martin slander. Hello, Julie. I hope you are well.
If he doesn't get that, he just wants the North Stand named after him.
Yeah, if you can, by the way,
the Horsey end.
I just let you know we are currently, because we normally, us, we like to go for our general 115 on the old likes. We are currently sat on, I don't know why that's happening. Oh, just while I'm checking this on, just to remind you all that we're back Wednesday night with the fan calling show is back. So come in and have your say with me on Wednesday night, 9:30. Martin talks with you guys.
Oh, that should be fun.
And then we're back Thursday night for the Thursday night chat, which I will not be part of because, well, I might be. It depends what time I arrive in the hotel / caravan. I will let you know.
Ooh, where are you going?
And we're going away for the week. I'm going away from Thursday night till Monday.
Ooh, fun.
I'm going for a well-deserved break. Seeing as I'm the only one who doesn't get one on this channel.
Yeah, like it work for an airline.
I just came back from a massive holiday. I won't be going on holiday until
I
November.
heard British Airways are hiring. Off you go.
I was in a 3-week holiday. I think I beat you. I think I beat everyone on this one.
I'm the only one who doesn't get an holiday on this. I've literally stood and took every bullet for the last 9 months.
Actually,
what
the
to
holiday I was on, my best friends were Aussies.
You know what to do. Get a
the
tram down to St. Peter's Square, change for the airport, and then just take your paperwork there.
What a bastard. It's brain dead selection. What? What? You've seen the same mistake. Oh no, she's not down, she's self-reflected. Oh well, we'll be back next year, never worry. But yeah, any final thoughts? We are, by the way, 12 away from 115, so come on, 12 away. I am going to enjoy, I'm going to have a lovely time, DC. Cannot wait. And then I'm away in May, and then I'm away in July. So my holiday in May, June, July, I'm going
all
away.
Of your holidays. I'm actually
Private
excited to spend
island.
summer here.
No, that's July. July, I'm going to a lovely all-in Antalya, which is like 5-6 star hotel jobby. Very nice. For 11 nights. So yeah.
Yeah, holidays are fun.
Martin, are you on a permanent holiday? You never know if the abuser keep coming, then yeah, Jesus Christ. No, take care, Fogger. Cheers, mate. Appreciate that for all your help. I was just there, Dash.
I was in Antarctica.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And if anybody follows me on social media, I brought my city scarf and I was in Antarctica holding the city scarf up. There was a Liverpool guy on the boat. We became friends. He had his too. We had a little rivalry going on. It's fun.
Caravan sounds close to a taxi. Talks about. No, there is no jacket or taxi at the back of the caravan.
Fake caravan.
Manchester Derby just felt like pay away the last derby for the old
It
player.
kind of did feel like that. It'll be interesting to see what he does the rest of the season because there's no like outside of the Forest game, there's no like game where you'd be like, okay, we got to get these guys out all at the same time for the last goodbye. Like there's no Liverpool, there's no like Chelsea, Arsenal, like you really you that excited for Villa or Fulham. Oh no, we'd say goodbye to Craven Cottage. We have to put everybody out. Like I know.
We always get the obligatory one down tick. What do you find that? Take Pat and Alan with you. Alan.
Hey Pat, like I said, this cruise I went on to Antarctica, I was hanging out with Australians the whole time. They were awesome.
Yep.
A couple from Wollongong. Is that how you say it?
Wollongong, yeah, that's just south. That's just south of where I live.
They lived.
Yeah, the Gong. We just call it the Gong. Yeah.
The Gong. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I got to go back to Australia now. I got so many people to meet in Australia now. I'm like, I got to go back.
Yeah.
No, 98% done anymore. No, but Morgan Gibbs.
We've 98% done. A certain German.
Morgan Gibbs White might put the cat amongst the pigeons, Dash.
Ooh.
Right, anyway. Kat, Kelster, thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you, Martin. Always a pleasure, never a chore.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Kelster.
thanks for having me again.
You can see Kelster all over YouTube. She's literally done the rounds in the last day.
Yeah.
We just got all the anger
out. More to
out.
come tomorrow and Thursday.
Yeah. She's been getting less and less angry as the day goes on into show.
Well,
jokes on you, Martin, because I'll be on Daps's show in about 12 hours. So, yep.
Ah. 2 times on
Look out for Not in My Lifetime tomorrow.
Who else is on? You stay around. We need a chinwag, sunshine.
I know.
Anyway.
Everyone on Thursday, check out the Pat and Kel's banter stream.
Yeah, get over there. True
Martin
City
just shows up.
and
then the fire starts.
what I will say is, yes, this season is not the best. People are angry, but don't say things you're going to regret. Don't say things that you don't mean. Because you will, trust me now, the amount of people who've said stuff and they are being receipted for next season. So just calm down, relax. Next season is when you can lose your shit if Pep is still the same. Next season, not now. Season too early. Chill out. Anyway, take care. We'll see you all on Wednesday night for the Martin Talks to You phoning show. And we'll see you all on the next one. Take care.
Bye.